It is a bright morning, full moon Friday, and it's a blue moon too because we've got that full moon going for the second time this month. 68 degrees right now. Winds are the north at 3, so it feels really nice and pleasant out this morning. And as we go into the afternoon, it is going to be another really nice day. Of course, we're still tracking Isaac too. It's weekend, but it's still bringing in a lot of rain and even the threat for tornadoes across parts of the south there. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Blitz forecast for today, and we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies through the day. 83 at noon, and then topping out today in the low 90s. Of course, this is a holiday weekend. I'll have your Labor Day forecast coming up.
The Republican National Convention has spoken. Details in your News Blitz.
Mr. Chairman and delegates, I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
The Republican Party officially nominates the man who will take on President Obama in November. A recap of Mitt Romney's big speech in less than a minute. A state investigator is off the hook this morning after being accused of having sex with a prostitute, but that could change any time. More on this story in about 3 minutes. Albuquerque Public Schools clearly have a big problem with stuff getting stolen. You won't believe how much was taken last school year. That's 4 minutes away. And a little later, find out how you can get a new pooch for the family for free. Well, Mitt Romney is waking up this morning as the official Republican nominee for president. Mr. Romney took center stage at the Republican National Convention last night in Tampa, Florida, to accept his party's nomination. He talked about himself, his family, and he went after President Obama.
The centerpiece of the president's entire re-election campaign is attacking success. Is it any wonder that someone who attacks success has led the worst economic recovery since the Great Depression? In America, we celebrate success. We don't apologize for success.
Well, now it is back to the campaign trail for Mr. Romney. He is set to be in Florida, Virginia, and Ohio today. Well, Democrats are now picking apart Mitt Romney's speech. Critics say both Romney and his VP pick, Paul Ryan, are spinning lies instead of offering up concrete solutions. Opponents say a Romney-Ryan ticket will do nothing to help the middle class and instead will make it more expensive to afford college and health care.
We know to be competitive in a global environment, we have to invest in education. We have to make sure our teachers are well paid. We have to ensure that we invest in clean energy and move forward. That's the president's plan for New Mexico.
Next week, the Democrats take center stage when their national convention starts Tuesday in Charlotte, North Carolina. In other news this morning, we now know who's found dead in a burned-up historic building in Taos. Investigators there found Christian Payton's body in the basement here of the Old Holy Cross Hospital and Convent. They say Payton was homeless and had been kicked out of a shelter right before that fire. Investigators think someone killed Payton and set the fire to cover up the crime. They're still waiting to find out exactly how Payton died. Well, charges against a state investigator accused of bribing and raping a prostitute have been dropped for now. Timothy Carlson was an agent with the state's Special Investigations Division when Albuquerque police say they caught him with a prostitute who was really an undercover informant. After that, Carlson was fired and charged with rape because of his position of authority. Well, News 13 has learned the district attorney's office is still investigating this case, and Carlson could be charged again if or when the case goes to a grand jury. So for now, Carlson could become an officer again because he has not been convicted of a crime.
If they were convicted of a felony or convicted at all, we would immediately start grounds for revocation of their certification.
For now, Mr. Carlson is teaching private concealed carry classes here in Albuquerque. Well, the attorney accused of shooting a man at his law firm in Albuquerque this week will stay out of jail for now. Police say that David Chip Benny shot Stephen Bittinger in the thigh while the two were arguing on Tuesday. Benny is charged with aggravated battery. He bonded out of jail on Wednesday. Then yesterday, Benny was in court where a judge allowed him to stay out of jail. Well, the man who police say is stealing from mothers in Albuquerque is in jail this morning. Investigators say Herman Baca here has broken into a number of cars in the past 2 weeks. They say Baca watched as mothers went into daycare centers to drop their kids off. Then he would break into their cars and steal purses, wallets, credit cards, cell phones, and more. Baca is in jail right now on a $50,000 bond. About $260,000 worth of equipment from Albuquerque Public Schools is missing this morning, all stolen in the last school year. The district says it is $33,000 more worth of equipment than the year before. Computers and iPads were the most popular targets. The school district is now looking for new ways to help keep this property safe. The man accused of stealing nearly 40 guns from a store called the Rio Rancho Armory says he didn't do it. Investigators say they found 6 guns and a silencer in the house that Christopher Rooks shares with his girlfriend, Casey Taylor. Rooks is facing federal firearms charges. He pled not guilty in court yesterday. His girlfriend Taylor faces state charges. 32 guns are still missing. If you've been looking for a new furry friend to bring home, now is the time, very soon, because Albuquerque's animal shelters are so packed, they're about to start giving away dogs for free. This is next weekend. The overcrowding is so bad here, 4 or more dogs are having to share a kennel at the city's shelters. In fact, nearly 15,000 dogs have been brought in. So now the shelter's giving away dogs for free if they're at least a year old.
One contributing factor has been that animals coming in from Bernalillo County, that is outside the city limits, they have increased quite a bit.
Unfortunately, the shelters have had to put down 3,000 dogs in the last year. It's hoping these free adoptions can make that better this year.